Hello dear viewers, welcome back to Whispers of Turkish Stars. Before we dive in, tap subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends who can't get enough of tender celebrity moments. Your support keeps this channel going and lets me bring you the most intimate updates and the sweetest behind-the-scenes stories. Today, we have a warm, quietly romantic escape to talk about, one that has left fans smiling all over social media. Erkan and Hazal slipped away for a mountain retreat this past weekend, and the calm glow of their time together is still echoing online. They didn't choose a flashy destination or a bustling resort. Instead, they found a secluded lodge tucked between pine forests and misted valleys, a place where the air is crisp and clean and the city buzz falls silent at the edge of the trees. The plan, insiders whisper, was intentional: privacy, peace, and space to simply be. After the rush of shoots, scripts, and schedules, they carved out this small world for themselves, where the only things to keep time were the rhythm of the wind and the soft crackle of a fireplace. When they arrived, the staff felt it immediately, a hush that seemed to trail in after them, the kind of quiet that comes when two people know exactly why they're there. Hazal in a simple sweater and leggings, hair tucked back, eyes lighting up with the view. Erkan in a soft flannel and jeans, easygoing and grounded. Both were courteous, unassuming, and fully present. Those who glimpsed them from a respectful distance noted how they moved together with an effortless calm, no entourage fussing, no performance for cameras, just the two of them taking in the sweep of mountains like they'd been waiting for this very silence. The lodge's interior wrapped them in warmth right away. Wooden walls breathing out the scent of resin, lamps glowing like candles, and a fire already murmuring in the hearth. It felt like stepping into a memory even though it was their first time there. They headed for the main room, the heart of the lodge where everything gathers: conversations, laughter, the gentle pause between sips of tea. That's where the sweetest little moment unfolded. They put the kettle on and decided to make their own drinks. Hazal reaching for tea leaves, Erkan insisting on a bold coffee. He measured with exaggerated confidence, she teased him for trying to brew something that could wake the entire mountain, and they laughed when the first sip revealed it was, indeed, a little dramatic. It was small, unscripted, and genuine. A short clip shared online later caught that sparkle, her playful grin, his mock offense, the back-and-forth rhythm fans recognized as theirs. Once settled, they ventured out to explore the edges of the property, where the world opened into trails lined with soft moss and needles underfoot. The light filtered through the trees like something delicate and deliberate, and the chill in the air only made the quiet feel richer. Hazal, always drawn to natural beauty, paused often to take photographs. She captured the silver veil of the valleys, the way the sun slipped in and out behind pines, and the tiny details. Dew on a fern, a trail of footprints on damp earth. Erkan wandered beside her, pointing out a ridgeline, crouching beside a weathered stump to make some cheeky observation, and then stepping back to frame her as she framed the landscape. Fans who later saw fragments of this walk online couldn't stop talking about the way they moved through the scene together, unhurried, as if the day fit them perfectly. By late afternoon, the temperature dipped and the lodge welcomed them back. The main room, with its generous fireplace and couches softened by blankets, became their cocoon. They set their mugs down, tucked their legs up, and let conversation unravel at its own pace. No red carpets, no flashbulbs, no carefully staged poses, just murmured thoughts and quiet laughter that curled into the edges of the room like smoke. There was an easy rhythm in the way they listened to each other, a back and forth recharged by silence rather than broken by it. The evening brought company. Two close friends who joined them for part of the trip, and with them came a playful streak. They pulled out board games and cards, the kind that make you forget your phone and spark a friendly competitiveness. Erkan leaned into clever strategies, Hazal negotiated with a grin, and every small victory ended in clapping and good-natured protests. Someone filmed a snippet, Erkan pretending to be outraged at a surprise move, Hazal doubling over in laughter, and it drifted online like a warm ember. Comments rolled in, they were glowing, people wrote, they made even a silly game feel cinematic, affectionate, familiar. As night anchored itself around the lodge, the atmosphere softened. Lamps turned to low, firelight braided shadow and gold across the floor, and the scent of pine drifted through a cracked window. They tucked into deeper conversation, future plans, roles they had their eyes on, the way certain scripts stick with you even after the costume is hanging back in the wardrobe. They also shared those quiet, unrepeatable stories that surface only when no one is rushing the moment. Laughter came in little bursts, but so did reverent silences. You could imagine them there, tracing the lines of their careers and their lives, appreciating the strange, beautiful luck of finding calm together in a world that never stops asking for more. Dinner was exactly what a mountain table promises, heartfelt and unfussy, prepared by local chefs who knew what the body craves in cold air. There were grilled vegetables carrying the smoke of the fire, fresh bread that broke with a gentle sigh, and regional flavors that felt both new and nostalgic. Erkan and Hazal helped where they could, passing plates, arranging small details, making sure everyone had what they needed. It wasn't a show, just kindness in motion. The room was easy, conversation overlapping with the clink of cutlery, and every once in a while, they'd lean their shoulders together like a secret hinge. After dinner they stepped out to the balcony, where blankets were already waiting. The sky was shockingly clear, a black velvet field strewn with stars, and the mountains, so imposing by day, became soft silhouettes. They pointed out constellations, or what they believed were constellations, elbowing each other when they disagreed about where Orion begins and ends. There was no rush to say anything perfect. Sometimes their only words were the hush of breath when a shooting star flashed and vanished. A few clips surfaced online later, two figures bundled together under the night, the world beyond them grand and utterly still. Fans were enchanted by the honesty of it, no drama, no spectacle, just wonder. Before they said goodnight, they drifted back to the fire one last time. That final glow held space for gratitude. They spoke softly about how rare it is to find room to breathe, to step out of public view and feel no pressure to perform. They were tender and playful all at once, inside jokes, a look that said more than words, gratitude for the day that had unfolded like it had been waiting for them. Sources insist it wasn't grand declarations that marked the night, but small acknowledgments, the quiet agreement to keep choosing moments like these when they can. Morning arrived rinsed in silver light. They ate breakfast by an enormous window that framed the horizon as though it belonged to them, a panorama of sun brushing the mountains awake, clouds slipping over the peaks like soft scarves. Their smiles were unguarded, a little sleepy, the kind you only wear when you've rested for real. Coffee was gentler this time, tea was perfectly steeped, and the table held simple comforts that felt better than anything fancy: eggs, fruit, warm bread, honey. They chatted in clear, steady tones, and every so often they paused just to look out at the view. It wasn't just a getaway, it was a reset. By the time the first photos and short videos made their way online, the reaction was instant. Feeds filled with fond messages. People called it a mountain lullaby, a love letter written in pine and amber, a soft chapter tucked between louder ones. Others admired how grounded they seemed, how they let the quiet be the star. It reminded fans why these two inspire such devotion, not because they chase headlines, but because they carry a kind of warmth that feels human and reachable. In an ocean of noise, they chose stillness, and people felt it. This trip didn't rewrite who they are, it revealed what's always been there, just less visible. A side of Erkan and Hazal that lives away from the glare, thoughtful, intimate, and wonderfully normal. From the simple joy of brewing their own drinks to the playful tug-of-war over a board game, from wandering under pines to counting stars on a cold balcony, the entire weekend stitched itself into something gentle and memorable. It's no wonder fans are still replaying the clips, lingering over photos, and writing about the way this retreat felt like a story you wanted to live in. If you loved this glimpse into their quiet escape, don't forget to subscribe to Whispers of Turkish Stars, leave a like, and share the video with someone who believes the softest moments can be the most lasting. I'll be back soon with more exclusive updates, unseen details, and the tender, sparkling edges of the Turkish entertainment world. Until the next video, keep your eyes on the mountains and your heart tuned to the whispers. Because sometimes the calmest scenes tell the most unforgettable stories.